Year 1 pupils at Rainsford Lower School in Bedfordshire are investigating materials for an art project. We'll see how the resources are explored in a variety of ways and how pupils are encouraged to develop their own language skills as part of the process.
I've got this, feel that, feel that.
We return to the class 3 weeks later to see how they've developed the theme and show how pupils use self-evaluation to assess the outcome of a weaving project.
We're going to be thinking about the word fabric, what it means, what kind of things are made from a fabric.
Shirt.
A shirt, so clothes that we wear are made from fabrics.
Toy bears.
Toy bears, they are made from fabric, aren't they?
Blankets.
Blankets are made from a fabric.
There's lots of other pieces of like paper and soft things.
Then we're going to link into that their own situations where they have brought items in from home that they particularly like, particularly feel good about. And I would guess that an awful lot of those things would be toys. You're going to identify and describe the textures. What does texture mean? Oliver?
If it's rough or smooth, it doesn't mind, but it's what it feels like.
Fantastic. I asked you to bring in a special piece of fabric, okay, something that you really like from home. We're going to start off our lesson today by looking at those things.
I work part-time here, so I cover classes so that teachers can have their workload released, their 10%. My role is to support the staff in delivering the art curriculum. We talk about the different projects that are planned and how they're going to resource it and how I can help them resource it.
This is a new topic for me, one that I hadn't covered before. So Gilly and I sat down and went through the QCA plans to see how we could adapt that to my class. I'm very conscious also that I have a mixed class. It's mixed reception and Year 1, although the majority of it is Year 1. So we wanted to be sure that we pitched it at the right level for both sets of children. Now in here you've got lots of different samples of fabric. What we want you to do is to take each of the pieces out. We want you to feel it. And we want you to talk to your partner and tell your partner how it makes you feel when you touch different kinds of fabrics. Some of them you might like, others you might not like the feel of.
It's the second in a series of lessons on a project that's called Investigating Materials. They're also going to be looking at samples of fabrics, talking about what fabrics are, and sorting fabrics by their own criteria and talking about that.
This is yes, this is yes, this is no.
It feels bumpy.
Do this.
When you roll it, it feels bumpy.
I don't like this.
Okay,
It
why?
hurts my fingers. I like the bling because it's really soft and smooth. And I like this because it's stretchy and feels nice.
Thank you.
I think the issue of providing enough resources is quite a challenge, so that children can make good, positive, conscious choices about what they're doing.
I was looking at the words that have been highlighted, those particularly relevant to this topic. We've got colour, texture and textile. I was thinking about vocabulary particularly. I thought we could run a vocabulary list that we could share both with art and science.
If you have a vocabulary list visible that the children feel empowered to add to, then they own it. So that's all part and parcel of them taking the vocabulary on board. So the teacher will be adding to that vocabulary list and the children will be adding to that vocabulary list. I feel that if that list is visible and is being used daily, it becomes part of their thinking.
This topic also links in with a science topic that we're doing, which is sorting and using materials. Those two topics are running alongside each other, so we're able to focus on particular materials with this topic, but also expand on it in other areas, looking at other different types of materials in more depth. Let's find out all the different ways that we've sorted our fabrics. Adam, How did you sort your fabrics?
I put one half with the soft side, then plastic in the middle and rope on the other side. If this was in the pot, and I took it out and I did a fill of it,
Yes.
I put it in the nice side. And if I got this out of it, I don't really mind it. And when I got this out, I thought, so I put it in the horrible side. I'm putting all the stretchy things in this one, and then all the bumpy ones in that one, and then I'm putting them in grey. When I'm putting stretchy in this area, then I'm putting bumpy in this area.
We're then going to look at how the fabrics are made. I'll be giving them magnifying glasses to be able to look very closely at those fabrics. And throughout all of that, I'm hoping that we're going to pick up that fabrics are made through knitted fabrics, crocheted, bonded, felt, woven fabrics, that type of thing. So looking at different types of fabrics.
I see a little hole because it has holes in it, and I see a little hole.
They need to have a thorough understanding of how that works.
Yes.
That way they will have an understanding of what warp and weft means.
I found out this is nice and soft. Nice and bumpy and soft.
Before they can start to make conscious choices about what they are going to make, they have to have an understanding of how fabric is made, what decisions they have to make. So it's very much a process model rather than a product model. So, Debbie, how did that lesson go?
It went quite well. I was extremely pleased with how much of an interest they took in all the different fabrics. I feel that they firmly understand the word fabric now. They enjoyed talking about them to their partner. When they came up to talk about it to the rest of the class, they were explaining where the toy had come from and how much it cost and that type of thing. They were giving you a background on it.
It's got a longer string than my dad has. When it flies, and I like it when it goes really high when it's out of sight. At London, there was this toy shop, and it had loads of toys in it, and I said, can I have this dog? I just do this, and then I just do it where the part is hurt, and then it gets, like magic, it gets better. I found out some of the materials are loose, and I like pulling them apart. I found out that this is actually made out of a shirt. I feel in it. A blue shirt. And I pull it.
Okay. When you take something apart, it's called deconstruct. What did we have to do to take it apart?
To pull that.
Okay. How does it stay in there?
It's been slipped together.
Okay.
Weaving.
It's a woven piece of material. What about this one? How did that?
I think it's made out of plastic.
Oh, this was interesting. What is it?
It's fabric because it's been cut and it's got straight edges. Okay, a machine makes it because people who knit can't make it that straight.
What didn't come out was I was trying to bring out the natural fabric and the man-made fabric.
The plastic.
Why do you think it wasn't made?
Because I think it grew on something.
Okay, you think plastic grew on something?
That will be covered in your science.
Oh, it is.
So
it is. So that's why I'm
you'll
not
get there.
concerned about it, because in fact that is the focus of the first lesson of science, is to be looking at the fabrics or looking at materials and talking about whether they're natural or man-made. So.
Good.
3 weeks later, the pupils are encouraged to evaluate the outcome of a weaving project.
Amy, how did you know that that was your weaving?
It was all pink.
Okay, so that was your choice of
Colour.
Good girl. Colour.
I picked mine out straight away because it had blue tissue paper, that on it, that, a straw and that.
Okay, good girl.
When I ripped that just now, it made a nice sound as well.
Okay.
I just did it like that, under, over. It doesn't really matter what the colours are, as long as you like them.
How did you choose your colours?
I just thought about them very carefully.
Okay.
10 times carefully.
What does it feel like?
Feels like a tiger.
Feels a bit like a tiger. What a good description. In the middle of your tables, we're going to find a sheet of paper that has 3 boxes on it. Okay, at the top it says investigating materials, because that's what we've been doing over the last few weeks. The first box says stick a picture of your weaving here. Now last night, when you went home, I took a picture of all of your weavings and I've printed them out for you. You just stick them on here so that will remind you, because we can't keep your weavings in the books, can we? No. So we're going to have a picture instead. Okay, the next bit, you can see a smiley face, a sad face and an okay face. Just colour in one of those to tell us what you think about your weaving. If you really liked it, the smiley face. If you really don't like it, then it will be this one. And if you're not too sure, then the one in the middle. And then the final bit at the bottom, it says, what would you change to make it better? So you have to look really closely at your weaving and think, what can I do to make it better? Just one sentence, that's all you need to do. Do you like it? They filled in the evaluation sheets. They were fascinated at having photographs of their own work, which they could put on there and keep as evidence. Nearly all of them had filled in the smiley faces to say they were pleased.
I bet. What about changes?
A few of them thought that they might change some of the colours. One of the little girls said that she wanted to put beads on hers.
And did we get more vocabulary coming out?
Oh yes, yes, yes. They used a lot of the vocabulary that we've been teaching them all the way through.
Right.
We had to think very carefully about the colour and the texture.
And we also have to feed in and out, don't we? We have to go in and out. What are those strips called?
That's the loom, that's the warp, and the other one is the weft.
Fantastic. Well done, Megan.
So the children have thoroughly enjoyed what they were doing.
Yes.
And you can see that from the results and also watching them do it. Display is a very important area of what we do. That's, of course, sort of valuing them, valuing their work.
Yes.
Being proud of it.
Yes.
All those lovely positive self-esteem elements.
I was a bit concerned about it at the outset. Well, I felt that I didn't have the skills required to be able to teach it because it's something I've not done before. But I have really enjoyed teaching this, and I can see from the children they've benefited from it.
What I'm hoping we're doing with the art curriculum here is raising children who notice, who look around them. And what we want to be doing is making sure we're producing adults who can do that, who can be curious and really talk about and think about what it is they're seeing.